10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yo, Tech, start the video, fam.
What up? Tech versus tech. This is the weekly chart check. So I'm gonna pick a few different Forex pairs and we're just gonna go over them and see if we can find anything. Usually when I come on these calls on the Sunday and I do the markup, I'll look to see anything that happens during London session, which is from 3 a.m. until noon the next day, right? So that's when I will actually look for the trade. So I'm not on the live while I'm doing the actual trade, but it's good to see during this time because the market's not really moving that much on Sunday. I don't really trade on Sundays and I don't really trade on Fridays because that's like a no day for me. But because the market is closes on Friday and then you have Saturday and Sunday, then I'll just do the markup so I can kind of see what's happening while the market's not moving, and then I'll look for a trade when it's the high volume time. So that'll be like London session, mostly London session for me. But then there's New York session. If you're available to trade during New York session, a lot of people are at work during that time and it's kind of busy during that time, so not everybody could do anything between what's New York session, like 8 a.m. till 5. So if you can trade those sessions, it's good. But yeah, I do London sessions, so we're gonna do a markup. We're gonna look and see if there's anything that's going on in the market. I actually did some of the markup stuff already prior to doing this live, but we're gonna go over whatever I find, and if we see anything, that's what we got. So this is the chart check with Tech. Let's get it. So I was going over all of these pairs over here. These are like the ones that moved during London session, and I got up to, I think I stopped right at Euro JPY. Yeah, and this was the next one that I was gonna do. So right now I'm just gonna continue doing what I was doing and y'all could just watch pretty much, or if you have any questions in the chat, let me know. But I'm just gonna go over the pairs that I was working on prior to the live. And also, I think my mic is good, but if you don't hear me, please let me know in the chat. Stuff is old, so I'm just removing it so I can clear my chart. So starting on the weekly, this is the Euro Swiss franc. So the weekly is bearish. So it made a lower high and a lower low. Going to go down to the daily time frame. See what we can find. I don't like when I see all of this because you don't know, like this basically means that like there's a big gap, because this is a bullish candle, right? But you would expect this candle to be bullish to get all the way up there, but it's just a big gap because this means that this candle went down. So how did it get up here? It just, like, I don't know, sometimes the charts show up like that. It's all good though, because I can clearly see that this push up is higher than this level here, and this was actually the weekly high 3 weeks ago, and it broke above that. So now the daily is bullish. So that's all I really need to know. So the weekly is bearish, the daily is bullish, and now we're going to go down to the 4 hour, see what we can find. We still get a push up right here. So okay, so we have our range that we're working with now. The weekly is bearish, and then we have daily, which is bullish, and then we have the 4 hour that's bullish. So now looking for an area where price can retrace to see if we can get a play out of here, which would be, we're going to go back to the daily. I don't expect to find anything weekly. Okay, so we got some action around here. So when I'm looking for an area where price could retrace to, I'm going to start from here. I'm just looking at the midway point. I definitely want it at a discount, so I want price to come all the way down here, but sometimes it doesn't do that. But this is the area that I would be targeting, back down here. So like I said, it could be any of these areas up here too as well. Wherever there's a strong area for the price to bounce is where it's gonna go, which is most likely down here. So let's see. This area, look. Get rid of this. It's normal. bad, not bad. Yeah, so this area right here. And let's see if we could find a psychological level. 32. Good. It's not. Here. All right. So pretty much, yeah, I'm looking for price to come back something like this and then start making its way out of here. Actually, no. Yeah. So price to come up there, but this playing in this range. So look, where's the weekly? Because the weekly still bearish. So this level right here, the price action right here, if it gets above here, it would be retesting this EMA that's coming down. But I don't really care about that for now. I just know that if the price comes back here, this is the area of interest that I'm looking for, because these two time frames, being the daily and the 4-hour, are bullish. So I'm looking to get a bounce right here and then maybe just take it back up to this level right here. And that would be like the safe trade. So if we get price to pull back to here, then I'd want to go long from this area. But you got to keep in mind too, you have these weekly levels that are in here. Like this is a strong area here. You see all this consolidation right here. So it lines up with what I want, right? So if price comes back here, I'm looking for this area to hold, because this was resistance all throughout here. So now I'm looking for price to be supported when it gets down to this area. So I'm just gonna wait. So that's one trade that we can possibly take during London session if it gets down here. So I'm not gonna force it, just be patient. And that's it. That's just how I would mark it up. You know, I find out if the weekly is bullish or whatever the direction is on the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour, and then we start looking for areas where price could get a bounce. Let's go to, let's actually look at the ones that I marked up previously. Probably do that, because I did get an alert on my phone, so I don't know if any of them started moving already. Oh no, this is still making its way back. You see a bullish candle there. What about the I'm looking for this one to continue to push up, which it looks like it's doing. See, I wanted it. This actually was one that I marked up from last week, and it made it down here to this area of interest here, and it already started moving. So to me, that's already gone. I'm not even going to worry about it. This one's still moving up, so hopefully it gets into this area here and we get a bounce. This one is one that I'm interested in actually. Yeah, I have it marked up here. There's bounce either here and go down. So this one never held, so I can remove it. So weekly is bearish. So the daily started making a wick. Crazy thing is, daily is bullish now. But there's this zone here, so to me, I'm not gonna let that phase me. Hit the full structure. Got this breakdown here. So even though it goes bullish here, you see it starting to make this wick and rejecting from this area. So the weekly is still bearish. So I'm looking for price to break structure in this area and go down again. So if I get it to break on a lower time frame, then we could possibly get an entry. I think it's just going to consolidate in this area for a little bit longer, maybe until London session it makes a move. Still bullish. There's nothing I can do yet till it comes out of consolidation from that area. Okay, so continue on. Like I said, I don't trade on Sundays. I wait until London session, so that will be at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. If I'm up, I'll look and see if anything reached the areas I'm looking for and then look for a trade. So I'm going to continue on to where I was. This was the Euro CAD. Please bearish. Phillies. We're always bullish now. Okay, so what I'm looking for here I want to see if we're going to hold under this, like if we're going to break back down under this level. That would be ideal because we had this push up here, this trend line, and then we had a consolidation at the top. It broke structure, came back up, and this is looking like the retest for the next drop. So I have to pay attention to, let me just see where the weekly is. Yeah, so I gotta pay attention to see if, see, I already drew this up right here. Oh, yeah. Like, okay, if we get price to push up a little bit more so that it can break structure, because that's like the daily higher lows all the way down here. If I go on the daily higher lows down here, so I need this high to push above this one so that I can move this green line up here. And then if we break structure on the daily, then the weekly will be bearish and the daily will be bearish, and then the 4-hour will break down too, and then I can get a trade down. So this one's pretty close. Maybe this might do all of that. Yeah, like by going into tomorrow, this might change around and I might get what I'm looking for. Maybe by Tuesday it'll be ready. So we'll just have to keep like paying attention to that to see if we get a trade here. So moving along. So the weekly higher low, higher high still hasn't broken yet. So that's the weekly range. And I'm gonna go down to daily and see what's happening there. Huh. This is that pair from last week that I took a trade on this. But for anyone that trades, and let's just say you like depending on your broker, well, I think most brokers, between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. is like a changeover. So what does that mean? I don't really know exactly what it means, but between 5 and 6, the market closes at 5, right? But during the week, between 5 and 6, the market needs to move over to the next day, essentially. And during that hour, if let's just say you're up, I'm using random numbers here. Let's just say your trade was up $100. During that hour, it doesn't matter that you're up that much. It'll show like you're up 50. So something happens during that time where the amount that it says you have, or that you have, it'll show that you don't have it. And if you were to close during that time, it would actually give you the less amount. And the other way where that's bad is that let's just say your stop loss is pretty close, like you have a tight stop loss. During that 5 to 6 changeover, it can take you out of the trade. So that actually happened to me. I know about it. I don't know why I still made that mistake, but I know about it. But on Friday, I was in a trade, and what happened was the stop loss was too close, but my stop loss was in profit, so that was all right. But at the same time, it still took me out of the trade. So you got to be careful when you're using these platforms, that between 5 and 6, if you know you're going to hold your trade over to the next day, then you got to make sure your stop loss has a lot of breathing room so that it doesn't take you out of the trade. Because I was in the trade from the very, very bottom. That was actually the best trade I took all week, right from the bottom down here. And then it took me out, and I didn't go back in because it was a trade from Thursday into Friday, and I don't trade on Friday. So unless I'm already in it, then I would stay in it. But if it takes you out from the Thursday to the Friday, then I'm not going to get back in because it just doesn't make sense at that point. But anyways, this was the actual trade. Waited for it to get, like, as you can see that I marked it up, right? Literally, when it was falling, I had this, that it would bounce here and go up, and it actually did the, like, yeah, it took me out from like right here. So, lesson learned. Yeah, I loved this setup because we had a lot of resistance along this line. Show you. Price was consolidating in this area for a very long time. So finally, when it came up here, and I just met, like, see, look, where the weekly is bullish already, and then the daily was bullish, and the only thing that was bearish was the 4-hour. So I knew that when it came down to here, and that I found an area of interest here, that I would get a bounce, and we definitely got a bounce. Like, this thing just like literally left a wick. So I was down in it from down here, and all it left was a wick and just took off. So gotta be careful not to make that mistake next time. Anyways, we'll find more, so that's all right. Yeah, there's not much to say about this trade. Just gonna move on. So that was okay. There's only one more euro pair, which is the euro Aussie. Maybe I'll just do all the euro pairs and just call it a day. Like, I did all the Aussie, I did all the euro. I didn't do any of the British pound. The only one that I would probably take during London session is the British pound. But a lot of these ones, they match, like they're gonna be similar, because the euro Aussie, the pound Aussie. I did the euro CAD, the pound CAD, and the euro New Zealand is what I just showed you, and then you have the pound New Zealand. So the charts are gonna look actually pretty similar. So it doesn't make sense I do all of them again on this live. I'll do that in next time. If anyone finds like any of these videos and you do trade a specific pair, like some people like to trade gold, like I would, whatever is suggested, I can go on, because I know some people are looking to make trades during the week as well. So if you have a pair that you trade, then I can do my chart and we can compare to what you have or whatever the case is. So kind of want to make this interactive, so to see if we can come to the same conclusion, because not everyone trades the same either. So if you trade a different way, I definitely would like to see what you come up with and compare it to what I have, you know. But anyways, moving along, I'm going to check the weekly here. This bullish structure coming up right here, all of this, right? Big push, and then we have the last structure here was the higher low, higher high on the weekly. So the weekly is bullish, and then price broke above, we got a higher high, then it broke below, then it again above, then broke below, and now broke above. So I already pretty much have this already marked out. So with daily, we have, let me just change this. high low weekly. Okay, good. Then we have the daily, which made a higher high, higher low. That's the daily range. And then we have the 4 hour. 4 hours just consolidating. So I caught it from higher. So in this scenario, the weekly is bullish, the daily is bullish, and the 4 hours bullish, which is really good. And starts. Okay, so basically just waiting for price to break out of this consolidation here. You see, we came down here, it broke above, and now pretty much this is the area that we're looking to break above. Just gonna put a zone here. So where's the trade? Where's the trade? The trade is like this. We got 2 weekly levels here that you could probably not, I don't even think you can see it. Because I make them faint, because if I make them brighter, it's like distracting. So this was a weekly low from 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, right in the same spot. So I already know this resistance right here is strong. Strong resistance right here. Especially that the weekly and the daily finish right here as well. So in order for me to take a trade, I need to see this. I need to see price do this, and do this. That's the trade. That's the trade. Come up and then try to do something around here. There's an imbalance right here. See if that imbalance is still there. Yeah, it is. See how that lines up. See how that lines up, and then now we just look for like a psychological level in here somewhere. Gotta be one right there. So Euro Aussie, that is what I'm looking for. Now I'm gonna have to probably go back over some of this stuff so I can put my alerts. I like putting my alerts on the 15-minute because I want it to go off every 15 minutes because I'm gonna fall asleep, right? And if I'm asleep, one alert probably not gonna, so just gotta make this is the bar lock. It's good. say it's going to go off every 15 minutes. So if I get some alert that this broke this structure, which I do have a feeling that it will because of all the time frames being bullish, and because we're making higher lows. You see this right here? Let me just make this darker so you can see what I'm talking about. So you see this right here? Price is just making higher highs and higher lows. So, and it's coiling up right here. You see that? It's doing all of that dancing right there. And then plus all of this right here is just liquidity. All of this above here, all these relatively equal highs, all liquidity. So if we break above here, like all these people that are going short from right here, taking shorts, taking shorts again from this area on that side, wanting to take a short from here, which is possible. Price could come here, just break structure and fall down, come back down here again. But that's why I'm not taking a trip. The thing is, all the time frames are bullish though. So if all time frames are bullish, I'm more likely waiting for a trade, price to break above this area and then find support just to wipe out all of this liquidity. Because what happens is these people that are taking these shorts, they got their stop loss around here. So price comes up here and takes out all of their stop losses, then that's the market taking their money. So to me, it's just more likely to come up here and go here, and then all of this range right here, because we have the fair value gap, just to fill it, just to fill like this area here. Like I said, I wouldn't think that unless the fact that, see, there's also a gap right here as well. So I put the highest one, but there's a gap actually right here. That's the 4 hour. I want it to be. See this whole area right here, I'm looking for it to get filled in. Look how that lines up with this area right here. And it's obviously not 100% that it's going to do that, but I'm also not going to jump in any trade unless I get a break and retest above here. It could just be like this. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy like that. It could just be a break and retest, and then I get a trade to go up to the upside there. So anyways, that is pretty much it. So I marked up all of the Aussie pairs and all of the Euro pairs. Maybe if I get up early, I'll look at marking up the pound pairs, which is going to be similar to the Euro pairs, and that's about it. And then we find our trade from there. So I'm gonna leave it here. We're gonna come back next week, or when I I'll leave these. I'm gonna leave these purple lines on my chart, so when we come back next week, we can look and see which trades played out, which ones didn't. I'll do something like that, because usually when I go back and I during the week, I move some of these, the ones that play out, the ones that don't, and I delete the lines. But next time I'm gonna just keep them so we can do like a follow-up. But like I said, I'm gonna leave it here because yeah, I'm done. Let's go back to chat. Yeah, by the way, again, I keep saying this every week, but I'm gonna keep saying it because y'all need to know. right here. Like and subscribe. I am working on some other videos for crypto because we're in a bull market, so that's where a lot of people's attention is right now. So I want to make some videos regarding that. I do have something that I'm editing right now coming up, and when it comes out, you'll get notified. That's why I said like and subscribe, turn on your bell notifications. That way when I release the videos, then you'll know right away. So I'm gonna leave it here. Like I said, like and subscribe. I do videos like this every week. This has been the Chart Check with Tech, and I'm Tech, so I'm gonna leave it there. Sound effects. Have a good night, y'all.